What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Dudeality podcast, where our motto is living comfortably uncomfortable. My name is Ian Perez, joined by Jonathan Mercado, Victor Rivera, and Chris Zora, or four ordinary dudes with extraordinary dreams. Jonathan, what's up, dude?
Appreciate the intro, brother. And welcome, guys, to another episode where we grow from the inside out. We turn our dreams into reality. We stop all the wishing and we start taking action, guys. In this podcast, we like to talk about entrepreneurship, self-development, financial literacy, leadership, and just getting 1% better every single day. And so we're going to pop it off like we always pop it off. We're going to jump into the arena of fire, talk about some things that we're supposed to be doing. Are we doing them? And let's go ahead and swing it, brother. Vic, you ready?
Yeah, man. I thought you said like leadership right now.
I did. I always mess up something in the intro. There's always one thing I messed up.
It was kind of hot though. I like it. I was in my leadership. Yeah,
leadership. I like it.
No, man, it's good to be back. We had Thanksgiving last week, so happy Thanksgiving to everyone listening. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Man, it was good. We actually made a whole turkey. We hadn't really made it like the turkey like the American way. Either we've gone past years like to eat somewhere and or went to somebody else's house.
What's open? Like what's open? I was wondering about that. Thanksgiving, what's open?
There was a lot of restaurants open.
Applebee's, Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, there's some restaurants open. So a lot of people like skip the whole, cooking stuff.
I was wondering because I almost I got sick the day before and then early on in the morning, and I almost told my family to go to Dallas without me, and so I was already kind of planning in my head like, what am I going to eat? I was like but yeah, go ahead.
But no, we used to go to Luby's before they closed the one right here in Round Rock. They were pretty good. But now we followed the Gordon Ramsay recipe, and so it came out pretty good.
Yeah.
So I was proud of Elizabeth. She did that.
That's
good. So I helped a little bit. No, not really. I didn't help it
out. I'm not even a big fan. I'm not even a big fan of Thanksgiving food, brother. I'm like starting to think about it. Guy. I mean, just all of it. I'm just not a big fan of stuffing myself with full of just different stuff. And go back to think about it. I always just make a turkey sandwich, brother, every year.
Oh yeah, you just put
I get my Hawaiian buns, I get the turkey, I get the cheese, and I make a turkey sandwich. But I usually make a Monte Cristo. Y'all know what that is?
Nah, what is that?
Oh yeah, that's just
isn't that like a Cuban sandwich?
It's I don't know where the origins are from, but you know me and my sweet tooth, brother. So you got the turkey or ham, you got the cheese, and then you put jelly, and then you sprinkle powdered sugar on top.
Yo, there's another way to eat it. Is you put the sandwich together and then you fry it.
Oh yeah, you fry it.
That sounds good.
And then you put the powder on top.
That's a lot of work on my end. But if I'm gonna go out and buy one, yes, it's fried.
Yeah,
tastes phenomenal.
For it, dog.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm gonna have to try that next time.
No, but
genius.
Yeah, so I'm
fat for a reason.
Do my own thing, buy my own stuff.
But it was good. I mean, I enjoyed the time with the family. So we did the, thankful for type of stuff with me and my kids and my wife. And so it was good, man. It was a good time.
That's good. So, you get any reading in? Get your workouts in?
I got running. Man, I went to run. Oh man, I did a couple workouts and then I went through the turkey trot. Oh man, I ran too fast. And then
competition mode, bro.
Dude, I was repping the first 2 miles. I was like under 8. But right after I hit that corner around after that 2 mile, like my body just lost gas. I was like, boy, you're out of gas right now. So I slowed down. Betty son and Betty caught up to me up to like after the 2 mile. And there, I was like, damn, I ran out of gas.
5K, right? 5K?
Yeah. Okay. Well, 5 miles. I don't know how much. 10K.
5 miles. That's
10K.
Yeah, that was 5 miles.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 10K
I thought it was
almost 6 miles.
Yeah.
It's a 10K.
So yeah, it was the diamond. So I was like, but with the worst part about it is that I messed up like my right knee was like it's been hurting ever since. It's been really sore.
Yeah.
So
that impact, brother. We might have to switch bicycles here pretty soon.
So I was like, maybe, but I haven't been running that much. I've been like a little bit like trying to get back to where I was running long distance. That was like my second time I ran the 5 miles, but I ran it too fast. Back when like 6 months ago fast, and my body was like, you ain't there yet. You gotta start
bro.
back.
You remember that?
You're not that guy, pal.
We would run, bro, all the time.
We would do 5 miles every Sunday.
5, 6, 8, 10.
Yeah, we did. That's true. That was good.
That was a fun time. Seasons.
But no, I had a good week, man. It was good. It was good to spend time with the family.
You finished your book for November?
I have not yet. I'm working on. I should finish it pretty soon. But
today's the last day. We got one more day.
Today's the last day.
Yeah.
No,
I'm gonna get it. December's a longer week, longer month than November. I can finish and get another book. I already saw the book I want to read at Target. It's a couple books. I go to Target. I don't know why, but we go to Target all the time, so I'm always in the book. Looking at books. I'm like, oh, I saw a couple of books that look pretty good.
But hey, keep size on your forethought there. I'm about to say keep the size on your forehead.
It's 3 fingers.
That's not even the word I was thinking of. It's just, the size of the book. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
There you go. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, so a couple facts, fun facts before I actually get into like the reading and workout. It's like
trivia.
We were talking. No, not really. It was so like we were talking about Thanksgiving and everything. My wife and I actually moved to Austin 6 years ago and we arrived on Thanksgiving Day. And you're asking where to eat and stuff. We had to eat at an Applebee's because nothing else was open. And that was the closest thing near the hotel we were staying at. And then you were talking about the running, and it just reminded me of when you used to have Bold Week.
Yeah.
And we did that one time. There was the one time we did the 5K
at the trail, at the run,
at the track. And I just remember there was this chick that was running, and I was like, I just need to keep up with her. And I was like, oh, I'll just stop after this amount of time. But then I kept saying, no, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna keep going. And then I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna finish it.
Yeah.
Later, I found out she runs like 10 miles a day, like every day. I was like, I don't even really run at all. And I was like, my legs were shot for like a week and a half. Like it was so hard for me to go up and down the stairs.
Bro, you don't know what people do on the daily.
I learned my lesson.
There's some fast people out there. Like they're just like breezing.
Don't even look fast, bro.
I kept up with her, but I paid for it afterwards. But as far as reading stuff, I really procrastinated this month with the reading. But I spent the last 2 days I spent a couple hours each day, or actually multiple hours, just trying to get it done. And it was kind of hard for me to focus on it because I was reading The Art of War, but I guess it's a small book, but the version that I have has like different interpretations or like they mention different people instead, like and they do it in the middle of a sentence, so it throws everything off, and then so you have to go back and like reread things, and like it was hard to like follow. But I mean, it was a good book. It was good I think more for leadership than anything. So I did get it done today. Waited until the last day, but I got it done.
Bro. Thank you.
That's one thing I was like, I've been great about it. I need to finish the year off. I can't miss an episode, or I can't miss a book.
You gotta end the year strong.
On the workouts though, I was supposed to go work out, but since I was finishing the book, I missed my workouts. But I plan to go tomorrow and get back on track.
Bet. Mr. Ian, what's up, brother?
I'm just trying to get over this cold right now. Book, I'm not even close to being finished, but I finished the other one early in the month, so probably about a fourth of the way done there. Working out, I was steady 2 times a week. I think 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I might have worked out with you a couple times, but then it was just everything in the house. But Thanksgiving was good. Went to my father-in-law's house. Just ate there, chilled there. It's not much to do in Sweetwater. It's a little Texas town. But the kids enjoyed it. I mean, it was a different scene from the city, And then Steph actually found she's been working out a lot more than I have. She was solid for 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. like every day, at least doing a 30-minute workout and then walking for 30 minutes. And she found a podcast that we're both listening to called The Naked Marriage. It's pretty insightful. You just some different views on certain things, and then also views that kind of line up with, where you're at on your side of the marriage team. So you kind of get to see that you're not alone in certain aspects, but there's other views that, can kind of help you evolve as a man or a woman's spouse, whatever the combination is, just to be better for the other person.
I like that. Pretty sure that's like the next thing me and my wife are gonna focus on. Go hard with some marriage stuff. We go hard in everything else, and it's time to throw in something there for some marriage. Don't wait till it's broken. Take our own advice. Exactly. Let's keep working.
Yeah.
Man, for me, Thanksgiving, obviously I was sick the day before, and I felt a little bit better. So we waited. So we didn't, the morning, we're going to wake up at 5 a.m. and go drive to Dallas, which is only a 3-hour drive. But since I was sick, Desi didn't really want to leave me. And I was like, go without me. And so she's like, no, let's just wait till like noon and see how you feel. I don't want to leave you. And so I felt better around noon. So I took the trip, and all I did was just ball though, man. When I go to Dallas, that's the only thing I kind of look forward to is having the family around, and all the kids are all older kids. One of them's a little college basketball player, D3, cold, little Steve Nash guy. And, every year it's Christmas or Thanksgiving, we always ball out, like always. And so I was looking forward to whooping his ass, even though he's a college boy now playing big ball. I wanted to do him up and, post on YouTube and go viral or something like that. Because, I'm in my bag right now. So I'm ready to ball like hardcore. And so anyways, he didn't get to show up. He had a tournament. So he's lucky, he didn't show up. But I balled on everyone else. Like
I think you're lucky.
Yo, I turned into a monster when I went to Dallas, man. I was
Man,
not.
Stop poking 8-year-olds, boy.
I was not a kind Jonathan.
Nieces and nephews, like, come here, kid.
No, when I say that, they're like
swatting the shit out of like
they're 20 on up. Like they're in their 20s, so they're young in their prime, right? But we go to this one court, man. It's nice. A church, it's lit, it's covered, it's phenomenal, and everyone balls there. Like everyone, all the kids hoop, like they're hoopers. They're all either high school or a little bit.
Yeah.
They're hoopers. And man, I knew I was in my bag, so I was talking crazy, and I wanted to see if I could back it up. Like, can you talk this crazy and back it up? It was like what I was challenging myself with. So I was all like, before we even stepped on the court, I was like, I'm really him. Like, I'm really that guy. Like out loud, they're like, who y'all want to guard? I was like, whoever guard me, like they better be ready, because I'm really him. I'm that guy your mom warned you about on the basketball court. Like I was talking like that. And so my heart was beating when I got the ball, because now I'm about to do a move and shoot. And I was like, is it going to be an air ball, or am I really him? If I got to be really him, or they're going to talk trash, right? They're young. I hit rim, so it was all good. Anyways, I balled up. It was fun. But as far as the book reading, when I travel, I went ahead and finished the book me and my son are reading, was The Talent Code. And man, that book right there is just a phenomenal book about just getting in your bag of deep practice and how to be more effective, more efficient with the time that you have to become a Kobe Bryant, to become a Michael Jordan. Like, what are the sauces? What are the tools that they utilize to be that great? There's science behind it all. And, so there's some strategies that I would love to talk about in the podcast later on, of how to go into that bag and work your deep practice. So it was a great book. I read something like that a couple years back called Peak Performance. So it was just a good reminder of like, dang, I forgot about some of this stuff. It's fire. So that's 2 books in the month of November. And
job, man.
Go next book would be Leadership. It's a John Maxwell leadership book. So that's where I'm at that, man. Everything else is on point, man. Just working out, reading, walking on the treadmill. But man, let's go deep into our podcast. As always, guys, what we have is we're talking about a celebrity, right? They always have some kind of great history of how they became celebrities. And this one's no different. This is the Italian Stallion, Rocky Balboa, his actual name is Sylvester Stallone. He has a longer name, but Sylvester Stallone. I'm gonna go ahead and stop there before I butcher it. So what we're gonna do is, guys, we're gonna go over brief history about how they grew up, how were they nurtured, their nature, right? So we can get an idea, and maybe we can grasp some concepts, some nuggets, because success, guys, leaves a blueprint. That's why we always go over celebrities, because we want to be able to man, what are the patterns? What do we see? So we're going to talk about Sylvester, and we're going to try to have a discussion at the very end of what resonated best with us. What nuggets did we get from this guy? Because he's freaking an action hero. I got a lot of stuff on this guy. So without further ado, my man Victor is going to take it away. So there you go, brother.
Yeah, so Sylvester Stallone, so I think everyone growing up knows his name, right? So they know the action movies, Rocky for sure is probably Rambo, probably the most famous characters that we remember him from playing. I know when I was little, man, I used to pretend I'm Rambo and and stuff, like killing folks or whatever.
I never got into the Rambo series.
The first one is kind of like it's more like drama, like on the drama side. There's some action, but after that it's more like action packed. They're like the second and the third movies. But I get them both. I like a lot of the action stuff. So no, man, Sylvester Stallone, probably one of my favorite actors as far as that. Growing up, again, he was like that action star coming up. And so the era of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jean-Claude Van Damme, those are the action stars coming up.
Nice.
So but no, man, one of the things, he was born Michael Sylvester Gardenzio Stallone, long name, like Jonathan mentioned, but I know his first name was Michael. I was like, that's I don't see him as a Michael, but but no, his parents were Italian immigrants.
His dad was an Italian immigrant.
Yeah, dad. And so I didn't know that. I thought they were, he was like an American dude with this. I know he had some Italian in it, but I don't know he was first generation immigrant. So that was pretty cool, interesting to know. But that's born into a modest home. So he was born in Hell's Kitchen, New York. And so
just the ghetto, right? Straight up hood.
But family, his dad, his mom were entrepreneurs themselves. I think the mom had she was into fitness and stuff like that. They show up in her own little gym spot.
Barbellas is the name. I like it.
Yeah.
Barbellas.
Yeah. And then I think the dad
the veteran military is his background, military background.
Was he? But I know that he had his own little business, and then they moved around. They moved out of New York and stuff like that. He and then he's growing up. He actually grew up when he was born. They said there was an issue when he was born, that in order to give birth, they had to do a procedure, but that procedure they didn't do it right, and that messed up part of his face, and that's why he has that to the side thing.
So I guess when he was being born, they used forceps. which is I guess what they used to use a lot more back then. But I was talking to my wife about it, and she says that it's actually, they don't use that anymore because it caused a lot of issues. There's actually
because of him.
Yeah, not because of
the
him,
last
but
one they used.
a lot of people had received nerve damage, so he had to receive nerve damage for a lot of his lower face, and that's why his lip is like that, and part of his tongue, and just his lower face.
Yeah, I always wondered why, as far as but I never really researched it, or but no, it makes sense now. But it works though, right? It's part of his thing now, right?
Yeah, that helps. It helps with that. I mean, the slurring works with the Rocky.
I know, right? I feel like it worked out. It worked out. Yeah. It wouldn't have not been the same. Adrian, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think brought in a modest home again, not rich family, but not poor either, right?
Yeah.
Or super poor, but definitely brought up in in a modest home.
I would say hostile though, right? Did you read about with the parents, the relationships?
I did not.
Yeah.
see anything with.
So
yeah. Well, so so let us know about that. I didn't come across that.
Yeah, it was an interview, and they were talking about some of his friends, them growing up. That from the outside to look, everything was great, right? It's kind of almost like a blue collar, family household. But in the inside, though, was a lot of turmoil, right? So the mom was freaking beautiful, and the guy, she's more flamboyant, and the husband's a veteran, right? So he's more reserved. And there was just a lot of clashing going on, always a lot of fighting, a lot of clashing. And one of the best friends would say, I would have to go home majority of the time early because they would be arguing back and forth. And Rocky had to be in that kind of environment where the mom and the dad relationship was no bueno, constant fighting. The reason I say that is because you're going to find out a little bit later on in his story, you're going to see some correlations.
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't know that. But yeah, but after, he went to a bunch of schools, got in a little trouble because or kids would pick on him early when he
was getting bullied because of the mouth, the lip,
but the mouth thing and stuff like that. So
and his name, they picked on his name. Yeah, well, Sylvester. He didn't like Sylvester, and so his parents decided to call him Binky. B-I-N-K-Y, Binky. So he got picked on because of the name Binky. They were calling Binky Stinky. Binky Stinky. And then he already looked weird and had a slur. And so he was a prime opponent to be messed with. His target.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So early childhood was rough, baby.
Must have been rough, but especially in the
Stinky Binky
or DC. I think he grew up there too. So
yeah,
so it definitely wasn't like that he definitely wasn't that macho or that confident guy that we see now, right? But a lot of that is reasons why he started going into bodybuilding and just working on himself and stuff like that, to kind of build himself up. But so early age, again, nothing really stood out, right? Other than bullying and stuff like that, maybe problems there with the parents that he witnessed, but nothing really like super hard.
Him being bad, that's it. Like you said, he was being adolescent where his mom sent him to a boarding school.
Yeah, to a school in Switzerland, right?
I don't know where exactly,
or Sweden. I think.
I think it was Switzerland.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
that's where he kind of took on like a little bit of the passion about athletics. Like he started getting a little bit noticed.
Yeah. So so that was his really, early life. Nothing really stood out to me there. I think the most is like moving on to where he started to kind of pursue a passion of acting
and screenwriting as well.
Yeah. So the early age, as far as like trying to make it into acting, that's what he wanted to do. Trying to get into acting. That's he did a little bit of I guess screenwriting, but that was a little too later. But I think he's first just wanted to be an actor, so he was in a little couple of things here and there trying to make it. But he was in a rough time with it. I think a lot of actors or people that trying to come up in trying to be an actor, they struggle, man. They struggle hard. I think everyone that's trying to be in, I think we did a couple of people that were actors already.
Literally everybody had a certain amount in their bank account, whether it be $4. I think The Rock was $7, something like that. Rocky Balboa had $106. I think he was in at least the 3 digits.
You keep calling him Rocky.
Oh yeah. Well, that's how I know, man. My idol, Rocky.
But man, I struggled a lot. He would be up and down in his finances as far as he would have money. He would do a little job and a little acting gig, and then he needed another one. So it was rough. More than so a lot of failures, more than successes early on. He tells the story where he had to sell his dog at one point that he had because he had like no money. He was either that or had to like rob someone.
Yeah, that was it. Sell his dog.
So there was that, but like after because he got evicted from his apartment, and so he was homeless for a little while, and so
that's right.
He had been approached about doing a softcore porn,
and
he originally had turned it down because like it's not what he was trying to do. But after he got evicted and like he was just had nowhere to go or anything, and like he was like, either I'm gonna do this film or I'm going to
I'm gonna
rob
suck somebody up.
And so he decided, he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna rob someone. So like he ended up doing this. He was the starring role for this softcore porn. I think he even had the name of it on the thing.
He got paid 200.
It never got released though. It never got released.
$200 a day.
Yeah,
it did get released.
No, it did.
I heard it.
Because then they re-released it and changed the name to Italian Stallion after he gained some fame.
Oh, for real? I didn't know that.
Shit.
But
yeah,
I heard, from what I read, is that it wasn't even like he say like from like standards today, it would be like a PG type of, it wasn't like,
I mean, it was softcore, but but still, but yes, so that just helped him get out of
a situation.
A bad situation, and then he was still struggling after that, but at least it helped. And then he was dating a chick, and she was also an aspiring actress, and she was kind of supporting the two of them with her waitress job, and he was doing odd jobs, like he was like a cleaner of the zoo,
a fisher.
He was like
like a sold fish, not a fisher, but an usher.
An usher for the movie theater, but he got fired from that because he was scalping tickets and stuff. So, he was hustling. He was just trying to make ends meet, and he did what he had to do. And I mean that. I don't know if you guys want to lead into when he actually got like his first role or not, or if we
go, bro. He's right there. He's right there. What's his
break? He had minor roles here and there, but the first major role was Rocky, and he actually also wrote that script. Like he had watched in the Muhammad Ali versus, I can't remember who.
I don't know the dude's name either.
Who the guy was? I think it was Wepner or something like that.
Chuck Wepner.
Yeah, and that inspired him, and he actually spent 3 days and 20 hours straight knocking out this film. He wrote it all in like less than 4 days, and he was super excited for it, but he's like, I need to be the lead of this movie. So he was going to different studios trying to sell the scripts to different studios, and a lot of them were just turning them down. Finally, there's one that accepted it, but they wanted to put either Robert Redford or Burt Reynolds as the lead, and he's like, no, I need to be the head of this. So he turned it down, and I think
he turned $300,000
Yeah, it was $300,000 down.
Buy the script from him so that one of those guys can lead the role. And this is the time where he has no money.
Yeah, exactly. But he believed in it so much. That was
impressive, man. Yeah, like no money. And then and personally back then, that's a lot of money back then too.
Bro.
Oh yeah. And then like I think it was the same group ended up working it out with him, and then they ended up making the film. And I mean, the movie got nominated for 10 Oscars.
I know, it was crazy.
And like it won, I think, best film and best
screenplay
or something like that.
Best picture and
there was stuff. There was like multiple awards, and like he actually became one of 3 people ever to like screenwrite and
produce
and act in the same movie, like, and be nominated for multiple awards. So like that was just the start of his career, but even after that, he still kind of struggled a little bit. I mean, besides the Rocky movies, he wasn't doing much. Like he wasn't having much success, and like he made like Staying Alive, which was like the sequel to Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta.
Yeah.
And like even though it was critically a failure, like it actually made quite a bit of money. But it wasn't until First Blood, which is the first Rambo movie, that his career really took off again. And then throughout the years, like he obviously with those movies he was huge, and like and then he had like Cliffhanger and a few other big. I don't know about that, but I didn't watch that softcore porn. But after that, like he kind of flamed out for a long time until he brought back the Rocky series and the Rambo series.
Go back to what works.
Yeah, we went back to what works, and then he created the Expendable series, which was a huge hit too.
Yeah.
And so like even though he saw success and he saw a lot of failures, like he still pushed through it and was able to get himself back to the top, because he was one of the highest paying actors at like when he was at his peak.
Back in this era, yeah.
I don't think people realize the actors back in the day, hustlers. You talking about making movie after movie after movie after movie after movie, making 2 movies at one time at some point, or like literally like Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jack, like all these guys.
Back in the day, they didn't pay as much.
They didn't pay as much. These fools are like hustling.
Yeah.
So the hustle, brother, the hustle is insane. But yeah, man, it's just, it's Rocky Balboa. It's the real life Rocky. What I do want to talk about is being able to stay open-minded during his career. Yes, this worked. Let me try other things. And that explains why he was so up and down. It's trial and error, it's trial and error. And then you figure out like, hey, you find out what your gift is. His gift was those action movies. Then once you find out what your gift is, you lean in on your gift. You lean in on your strength. And so when he figured what his strength was, he's like, oh, I'm an action guy. And you said when he did Rambo, and then he's like, oh, I know my arena. Now let's go dominate. Right. Then it's Rambo, then it's Rocky, and then it's more. It's more of those movies. And it just led to great success. And so that's one thing that I kind of resonated with is if you don't know, try everything. And then what you don't like, cool, take it out of the equation, because now you're like narrowing your gap of where you really need to be, right? What works for you. And so I think some people at the very beginning of when they're starting any kind of endeavor is like, they're so narrow, like, no, this is the plan. This is the plan. This is the plan. I got to follow the plan. I can't veer off on the plan. I got veered off. Let's just jump back on the plan. But it's super important is you have a plan. It fails. It blows up. Let's create a new plan. Let that shit blows up. All right, cool, babe. Let's take a little bit of that plan, put it with this plan, and it's just using all your failures as stepping stones, which is one of the number one things that you need to have. That mindset of failure to get you to success is, let's go out there and let's fail and let's use those to keep moving forward. And Rocky is the epitome of that. I say Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, Jesus. I love Rocky. Yeah, man, that's mine, man. That's right there. I was like, oh, I like it, brother.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think you have to learn from failures. You can try other things. You don't know, if you're going to be good at that. It's kind of 50-50 unless you try it. But I like the spirit as far as of having that like mindset to not be afraid to try, something. Right. I think with Sylvester, what resonated with me is like that point, that when he made it big time, when he got that kind of big break with his movie, like he bet on himself. Like I'm going, like he didn't quit. He didn't quit, and he bet on himself. It's like, no, like this is something I'm meant to do. Like I know I can make this happen. Somebody's got to give me a chance to, and I'm gonna do it. Like I just need that chance. So I like that, and that confidence and belief in himself was like, no, I'm gonna be the lead actor. That was crazy to be like not taking the money. I'll be honest with you. I probably would have took the money. I don't know what y'all did. I would have made it take the money.
I don't know, man.
But again, acting is like my passion. Now it's not my passion, right? So it's that was one. Is like that he stuck to his guns. He's followed his passion. I think if we, it's like, no, I can act. I can make this. I was born for this. I wrote this with me in mind that I'm gonna play this role.
I want to add a little bit about that as a story. I was listening to an interview, and Rocky's wife the actual Rocky and his wife in the Rocky movies.
Oh, in the movie, yeah, the character, yeah, the actors.
She was saying because people who worked the set, who actually worked the cameras and did all this, producers, they didn't really believe in Rocky. They wanted some top guys in that Rocky role, right? That's what they wanted. And so she would say that during breaks when Rocky was doing his thing, that there was like side talk of who is this guy? He doesn't know what he's doing, or they're like not on point with what they're doing because they feel like this is a joke. And like we all saw that, we all felt that as actors. We felt like the cast and everyone around us was like not believing in what we're doing. And she said Rocky never complained, understood what was happening, but he believed so much that she even asked, like, Rocky, aren't you going to tell them something? Or Rocky, what are you going to do about this? And he's like, it's not them. They can't see what I see. And right there is like that hits hard because nobody can see your dream and they're not supposed to. Don't expect other people to buy into your dream. It's not their dream. It's not their vision. And so when you hear that outside noise, it's okay. That's not theirs. It shouldn't be theirs. They shouldn't just agree with you. It's not theirs. So you have that strong belief, like you said, Victor.
Yeah, fight for it. Yeah.
So
that's what,
brother.
Yeah. So that's what's in it with me is that like that mindset and that passion for I have this vision, like I'm going to make it happen. I know how it's going to, I know how I want it to look, how I want it to be. And, I'm going to work, to get what I wanted. So, and he took it, and I think they offered him like a lesser budget than they would have if it was like an A-list actor or someone like that. Like they offered him like, I think they only gave him like, all right, we'll meet you halfway. Like, all right, you'll be the actor, but you're not going to get this much money.
They didn't pay him.
They didn't pay him, very much. I think it was like $35 per shoot or day or something like that. And I think they filmed it for like 2 months or 30 days. I don't know how long. But it wasn't that long, but the budget was small. But sometimes you just gotta kind of go on the limb, believe in yourself, and kind of stick to the vision that you have, and then see it through
no matter what.
Yeah, see it through.
Parents, girlfriend, whatever, like if it's in your heart, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I think that's what resonated with me the most too, but I want to take it even a step further than that. The fact that he was born with a disadvantage or a disability, and like, so he started out with like a shit hand to start out with, like he didn't have that royal flush in his pocket, like we just waiting to lay it down on the table. He had to work extra hard for everything. Like you said earlier, like he was bullied. He got picked on a lot for his disabilities, and so what did he do about it? Like he started bodybuilding. He worked his way out, built his confidence, and then from there, like he fell in love with screenwriting and acting. He wrote his own screenplay. He wanted to do the movie like himself as the lead actor. And he just had that vision he had that vision of what he wanted, and he wasn't going to alter that vision for just because someone was going to throw the money at him. He had a bigger purpose with that film, and he didn't do anything until he got to do it the way that he envisioned it.
Yeah. You're right, baby. Like a lot of people don't understand that your disabilities are their gifts. They're gifts. Like it's the process that's it was planned. All that was planned. The lip, the what is it called? The lisp. There it is. The lisp. The way he looked, the nicknames, the picking on, that was part of the process that was supposed to happen for him to be who he is today. So anybody in that situation where you're like, oh my gosh, why me? Why not you? I love saying that.
Yeah, no, man, you can definitely learn a lot from, again, if you're if you're working on something, it hasn't, you haven't hit, the jackpot yet, just keep working, right? Keep working at it. Stick to that, what your passion is, and, and then go through the process, or learn from the process, and then, things will change.
Yeah. You got anything?
Other than coughing, no. I mean, basically what these two guys said, right? Like, I just love the perseverance that he really showed in his life. I think that he was so adamant about being Rocky because he is Rocky in a sense. Like, Rocky in the movie was the dude that was the punching bag. He was just there to take hits, take licks, and that was basically majority of his early life, right? Everything up until that movie, doing side jobs, getting fired for this, fired for that, doing little soft porn. That was the epitome of Rocky. So I feel like the only reason he pushed so hard is because nobody could have really personified that in a movie like he could. But the biggest takeaway is that perseverance, right? Just, I mean, he says it, it's not how hard you can, what is it? Not how hard you can hit.
How hard you can hit.
Yeah.
Keep moving forward.
And he just keeps moving, and that's what you really have to do, especially in like days like today with social media and just everything just kind of hitting the fan, like shit hitting the fan. You have to be able to move forward, and not just for yourself, but like the people around you, your friends, your family, because that's learned. That stuff's learned, so your kids see it. So then it's generational at that point, right? So that's big for me.
So I do want to just correlate what I said earlier about his the way he was brought up, the way he was nurtured in the family household of his parents having, a bad relationship. If you go through the history of his career, and yes, he does a lot of amazing things, but on the flip hand, he had a lot of terrible relationships with women. And there's a stream. I couldn't even keep up with how many women he was with and how long, and going back and forth and wishy-washy and try this and try that and marry this person, not marry this person, got a divorce there. But it's super important, how you are being brought up. So if you're a parent out there, whatever your kids see, unfortunately, they soak that shit in. And whether it hits them now or it hits them later, it does. Unfortunately, it does. So just another reminder to eyes are watching always. And so be careful how you tread. Think about the future. Like, it may not harm them now, but later on it could be something, drastic. So he did overcome at some point, right? You do overcome it with Rocky. He's going to keep getting punched in the face with those relationships. But as long as you take those failures and you learn from them and you keep moving forward, that's how winning is done. That's how you become great.
No, absolutely, definitely agree with that. On the flip side, if you're that kid, right, that witnessed a lot of things that kind of impact you, there's ways to improve, right? You don't need to repeat the story. You can break the chain yourself as well. So there's always that point too. Wanted to add.
Yeah, don't inherit habits. It's like we talked about this like a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? It's weird. If you haven't, you should go listen to that one right now.
I'm telling you, bro. We're on it. People need to listen.
Just listen.
Just listen. All right, man.
Listen, Linda.
Get us out of here, brother. Get us out of here.
I heard y'all try, and I appreciate y'all trying to do what I do, but I got y'all this week.
Come on.
You were born to be great, so please go and do it. As always, thanks for joining us today. Until next time, peace and later.